man. There would have been no Boyzone and no Westlife, but we should not hold that against him. Before he comes out, let's take a look at the greatest boy band the world has ever seen. Barlow, Gary, how are you? Great to see you again. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Now, last time Gary was on the show was when Take That We're Getting Back Together, and you announced a tour. Take That We're Back on the road. How did that tour go? Was it what you hoped it would be? Did it go as well as you'd hoped?
Well, the thing that worried us, especially when we came on your show, everyone kept asking us what the dance routine's going to be like. We were all thinking, oh, we're a bit older now, you know, it's not going to be quite as good, this.
Because how long ago was it since you'd been together performing? What was the gap in between?
10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
That's a while.
Yeah. And anyway, the first day in rehearsals, Jason came in and he span on his head 6 times to start with. That was the first move, and we thought, I think we're going to be all right.
Never mind, Jason, how did you cope with the routine?
Not too bad. Yeah? Not too bad, yeah.
You still got the moves?
Do you know what? I had my wife with me on tour as well, as one of the dancers, so I was getting tuition after hours as well.
When you say tuition, what are you talking about?
Use your imagination.
Okay, so you went on the tour and it went pretty well. You're doing a new album, I believe, is that correct?
Yep, okay. Made a new album over the summer. In fact, can I get a plug in for next Tuesday? We're on the Chris Moyles show with the first exclusive play of the new single.
Plug away and we'll edit it out in the morning. But so this is so it's a proper commitment now then, because obviously you get back together and you know, people think, okay, they're testing the water, you know, they worked together for many years, they're seeing if it works out, you went on tour, you loved it, you're going to stick together as a band, you're going to make it a going concern?
Well, the thing for us, we never even announced we're going to do a new record. I think we're just taking every day as it comes, really. We really, really enjoyed the tour. We had a great time doing that, and we've actually really, really enjoyed recording and writing together, because the writing I always did in the past, and we've all been in together as a band, and it's been so great doing that.
I guess it will feel a little fairer down the line as well, because I know, obviously, the person who writes the songs really winds up earning most of the money when the hits. Isn't that the case in the recording business?
The writing is very lucrative.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess it just means that we share everything.
So previously, the early albums, you must have made most of the money. Mm-hmm. But now, if you have another album, then maybe Mark can move out of that caravan. Would I be right?
Probably.
Now, let's talk about your weight, because in the back... Look, because look at you there, there's nothing of you there. Look at that, look. I mean, look at all... How gay were you guys back then?
We were definitely the gayest straight band in history.
You were, obviously, of the band, it seems you were the one who struggled the most with keeping your weight and keeping your physique in the way that was required for someone in that band. And when the band ended, you really kind of... Yeah. That's a medical term for it. That's what a doctor would do if you're talking about... You've had weight loss, or what we call...
Yeah.
Because I've had that as well. I've been up and down as well. So what happens there? I mean, you now presumably you diet all the time, or what do you do?
Pretty much, actually. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I don't concentrate on what I'm eating, I get to the end of the week and I've put on half a stone. Just seems to just go on me like that.
Because, well, there's a picture of you. I think that must be... This is from your book, so I know you won't mind showing this, but that must be when you were about your largest. How much did you weigh then?
Do you know what? I wasn't my largest there. I was my largest about 2 months after. I was 16 stone 8.
So what, you ate that baby? Shame on you. He's just in the pool saying, bring us some ketchup, I'm starving. I've caught one. 16 stone 8, and that's big, because you're about what? You're about 5'2", 5'3", so that's a big weight. He's wearing Cuban heels.
Yes. Spotted.
No, you're not. So that was pretty big then, and did you feel... what did you feel when you were that weight?
Well, it's a transitional period, because I mean, just before our son was born, I got dropped by the label. And basically, you find yourself, you wake up one morning, you've been busy for 8 years doing the most amazing things, travelling around the world, and all of a sudden, there's nothing happening. and you've either got to, you know, go away and work it out, or, you know, you do what I did. And we actually took our son and we moved to America for a while to get out of England.
Well, it was kind of weird, though, because people sort of really went for you in a weird way, didn't they? Because I suppose everyone knew that you were the one who had the kind of most obvious talent in the band, and that you wrote the songs. I mean, everyone, all of you guys were gifted performers, but you were writing the songs as well. And everyone, I think, thought, OK, Gary's going to go into this huge success. He's going to be another George Michael. He's going to be an Elton John type figure. And of course, it was Robbie that people warmed to and had that huge success. And you seem to become a really odd target for people. And I know you don't know why that is. No one really knows why it is, but it was kind of pretty relentless, wasn't it?
Well, I think, and eventually when, I mean, what happened was with me and Rob was it became a competition, and that was the worst thing that could have happened for me. Because all that happened is I just lost my confidence, and then, of course, you end up finishing your own career. And that's why I think, you know, that when the tour came around last year, it was such a relief again to be able to be involved in music and do what we all love to do. Yeah. And it was great for that. But
you weren't not involved in music. I know you went off and you wrote any number of hit songs for other people, didn't you? I mean, you kept that side of your career going pretty strong, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a studio at home, and, you know, I love music so much. I love to be involved in it. And basically, I went behind the scenes for 4 or 5 years, which is actually when I started to write the book then, because originally the book was going to be a thin thing. It was going to be called Backstage for Good, saying I'm never going to be an artist
again. Yeah. Well, it kind of gives it a much nicer ending and a much kind of, it's a more interesting book as a result, I think. But certainly you get the feeling, and I've read the book and I really enjoyed it. You really get the feeling of what it must have been like, because you talk about the day you received the phone call saying you were dropped from your label, and you were on the way to an interview, weren't you? And you turned around and went back home thinking, I have nothing more to say.
Yeah.
And you really get a sense of just how that your world just changed instantly at that moment.
And I mean, but basically, you know, the up and down of the book is great, I think, for nowadays, because celebrities just seem to come and go. And I think that, you know, we watch them for a while, we're fascinated by them, it's on to the next. What happens to that person then? Where do they go and what do they do? And I think that's, for me, it was the most interesting bit of the book to write.
Obviously, people are fascinated by your relationship with Robbie, even to this day, because it seems kind of weird, doesn't it? Robbie, you guys went on tour, and Robbie seemed to patch things up with you, and you guys made the effort, and he made the effort, and it seemed that everything was okay again.
And Rob did as a film piece for our tour that we played every night. It was like a hologram, we projected it onto water. And that was like the first step, I thought, in the right direction. It was good of him to do that. And then we met him halfway through the tour. And in fact, we were all convinced he was going to come on one night. He was talking about dates and all the rest of it. But it just never happened.
Well, he came on this show and I said, are you going to join Ted Darren tour? And he said, yeah. And we had a kind of sort of jokey bet that if I beat him at tennis, which I would have done, without doubt, because he's like a podgy little kid from Stoke, you know, and I'm a semi-professional athlete. And then I phoned him, I said, you want to do this thing? He said, oh yeah, I'm a bit busy, man, at the moment. Can you speak like that? I don't know if you noticed. I'm a bit busy doing this and that. All right. Now that's Liam Gallagher, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Anyway, he said, I'm a bit busy at the moment, and we never got it together, we never did that. And I got the feeling that when he said that he was going to join your stage, I think he believed it. I think he meant it. And I
think every day is another day for Rob as well, it seems.
As opposed to, for us, every day is...
You're right,
anyway, let's move on.